Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Feifei, and joining me today in this studio is, as usual, Steve Hatherley. Hello, Steve.
Hey, thanks for having me back. Good to see you again.
Yeah, Steve, we're talking about good houses today, and what would be the standards of a good house for you?
Well, you mean like my dream house?
Yeah, I mean, that would be considered a good house.
Yeah. We had a swimming pool in the backyard when I was a kid. That was pretty cool. So that's where I learned to swim. But in terms of just like what makes a good home, I would say a home that has lots of natural sunlight.
Yeah.
Have you ever lived in an apartment like B1?
With zero.
Oh, man.
Yeah, me too. I've lived there before.
It's like living in a cave. It's terrible.
It's making you more depressed even on some level.
Well, you get to meet a lot of bugs.
That's true.
Which is, if you're into that, which I was not. What else makes for a good home? Well, I think having adequate space so that it's not too cramped for, all the things that you have or have to store or things like that. Those things come to mind for me. One was just a childhood memory, but the other things I thought of were because I've lived in places that didn't have those things, and it made me appreciate them that much more.
Yeah, and especially based on past experiences, I recently have a very vivid experience when it comes to I want to live in a good house. Is that, in recent years, Beijing is getting more humid. And in our apartment, our walls starting to have molds. It's the first time in my life ever to see molds of different colors.
Oh, you're lucky. I mean, you're lucky that it's taken this long. I used to have roommates, about 600 or so ants that would make their way in a very uniform line to eat something somewhere. And I tried to get rid of them, and then I finally just accepted them into my life.
As your roommate?
Yes. But I wouldn't recommend that for the mold. That can be very bad for your lungs, I think.
Yeah, that really is the first issue that I have with molds on my walls. But I understand that because in the past, when it comes to houses in northern China in particular, humidity is not the top issue for constructors. So they're not putting into a lot of efforts and energy and resources into waterproof the whole thing. So I think when it comes to good houses, I start to think, climate is such a big factor.
The houses in the southern part of the country are probably built with moisture in mind.
Yes.
But maybe not so much with extreme cold temperatures.
That's true.
In mind.
Yes. I mean, when it comes, for example, you're from Canada, and when it comes to building a good house in Canada, for instance, insulation would be one of the top things for home builders.
100%. I mean, we talked about the issue of air conditioning in Europe on Roundtable, and that was one of the points that came up, is that the homes that were designed in certain parts of Europe were not built with extreme heat in mind, because climate change now is changing temperatures in the summertime, pushing them over 40 degrees in many areas, and the houses just weren't built to deal with that type of thing. And it makes sense. Yes, in Canada too, our homes are built that way as well.
To keep warmth in
the wintertime? Yeah.
Because your winter can last for I don't know for the case in Canada, but from where I came from, can last for 5 to 6 months.
Oh, I feel like Canada can be 5 to 6 years. Just constant winter.
Cold.
I mean, it's not. We have a summer and a spring and a fall, but...
Yeah. So when it comes to the expressions, vocabularies surrounding good houses...
We should do... Sorry, I'm digressing here. We should do a wintertime complain/compare story.
What do you mean?
When December or January comes, because you're from Inner Mongolia,
yeah,
and I'm from Nova Scotia in Canada, and we're both from places that get
Really cold.
Really cold. So we can like compare notes and see who has the
how people complain about winter.
who has the worst winter. But we'll wait a few months.
Yeah,
to
give
have
some
that
time.
One. Yeah.
But now I think we can talk about how to live more comfortably right now. We're talking about building good houses, which is 好房子.
好房子.
Yes, I don't think it's a new concept or new expression in China, but it's getting more popular this year.
So 好 is good.
Yeah.
房子 is house.
Yeah, but when it comes to the Chinese 房子, I think it covers more wider range than houses only.
Like apartments.
Yeah, it also covers like different buildings like apartments and compounds and combos depending on where you are from.
Place to live.
Yeah, basically place to live. So when it comes to the Chinese 好房子, it means to live, to have a good and comfortable living environment, I would say in this term. So for different regions, different places, different climates, they must have different features. For instance, we talked about in Canada, northern China, and also in Europe. So it's also true that we need very good insulation protection to keep the warmth in, which is 保温.
保温.
Yeah, 保 meaning protect, keep. 温 meaning warmth. So 保温 is insulation.
Is this the 保 from 保安?
Yeah, the same character.
保安 is security.
Security or protect or keep. So just sort of, keep the warmth in. So 保温. It can be used for a lot of things that keep warmth in, like the thermal cup that you have. It's 保温杯.
Ah.
Yeah, but I guess it's not only keep the warmth in, but also the cold in as well. It's just keep the temperature at the certain level that you want.
So then the 保 part is still applicable because it just means to protect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, to protect the temperature, 保温. And also, I think, do you have fireplace in your house?
Yep. A lot of houses have fireplaces. Not all of them, but we did when I was a kid. Really lovely feature.
It's functional, right? It's not decorational.
Yes, correct. Yeah. So, yeah, if you look at a home and you see like the brick tower, it's not a tower, but you
Chimney.
know, chimney.
Where Santa Claus climbs in.
Chimney. My English is terrible. The brick tower, I mean the chimney on top of the house. That's where the smoke from the fireplace comes out.
And you burn wood or charcoal, I don't know.
Wood. Yeah.
Ah.
So you have to order that wood. And then as a Canadian kid, my job with my dad and my grandfather was I wasn't allowed to chop the wood. They did that. And my job was stacking the wood, which is
much cooler.
I'd rather go to a dentist Monday to Friday for a year than stack wood in a Canadian winter. Outside.
Yeah.
Oh, look! I'm
Putting
already
that into context.
I'm already complaining about Canadian winters, but that's part of it. And then you go, and then in a cold winter's night, you go outside and you take the tarp off of the wood because you have to cover it so it doesn't get wet.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Take the tarp off and you load up, a basket full of wood and you bring it inside and then you put it in your fireplace. Yeah.
And then when it's getting colder and you fire up the fireplace, it's very romantic to me, though.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Right? You're hearing all the wood cracking in the fire.
It's honestly really lovely.
Yeah.
It's like you're living in a jazz album.
That's exactly what a jazz album would put in their ambience.
I know, it's what it sounds like.
Yeah, so, but I would dream to have a fireplace, 壁炉.
壁炉.
壁 meaning the wall, and 炉 meaning the stove or the fireplace. Some place with fire in it. So 壁炉 is in Chinese. I would dream to have a 壁炉, to have a fireplace in my home. But when I was growing up, I also have that memory of chopping up wood in winters with my grandfather. But it was for kang. It's not less romantic, in my opinion, than a fireplace, than a 壁炉.
What is that?
It's also burning wood, but it's also sort of a bed. It's built of bricks as well. And it's sort of connected with a stove outside in the kitchen. And when you burn the wood for either the stove for cooking or you have a small like hole underneath that brick bed, and then you can burn wood or charcoal and then warm up the whole
It's pretty
place.
cool, though.
It's very warm.
Yeah.
Even sometimes it's hot if you
Too much wood.
Yeah, lie on right above the stove. It's
Yeah.
really, really hot. But it's very northeastern cultural item, the kang. I don't even know how to explain that. It's not exactly a bed, but it's essentially have the function of a bed, but also people can dine, can put a small table on the kang and then share dinners.
And that keeps your dinner warm.
Yeah. It's very,
cool.
very warm. So I guess could be the northeastern version of a fireplace.
Forgive my ignorance. Do certain parts of Inner Mongolia also people live in a yurt, or is that exclusive to Mongolia itself?
If you live on the grasslands,
Okay.
yeah, you sometimes, especially for those who are still, herding sheep for a living, they would definitely have a yurt. And do you know how they keep their own warm? How to boil?
That's why I asked.
They burn the dung of the cows.
So there's a stove within the yurt itself.
Yeah.
And then there's a pipe that goes up
goes
to
out.
the top, straight
Yeah.
up to the top. Right?
Yeah. So, but instead of burning wood, they burn dungs from animals. And when you walk on the grassland, it's less romantic. One of the reason is because you might be stepping on one of the dried dungs hidden underneath the grasses.
But for them, for the people who live there, that's not something wasteful. That's fuel to keep their homes warm.
Yeah, it's true in Mongolia. It's true also in Xizang as well.
Oh, cool.
You're collecting dung would be on some level equivalent to collecting wood in Canada, I would say.
Yeah, same thing.
So it's the same thing. But for cities, for urban areas in northern China, we have a centralized heating system. I don't know if you have that in Canada.
I don't think so. Well, it depends on where you live. Like if you live in a condo, then probably, or an apartment complex. But if you live in a house, modern homes, I don't know. I remember when I was young, we had the fireplace and we didn't have air conditioning because we didn't need it. We just said homes weren't designed for extreme hot temperatures, right? But modern day places, maybe it's different now.
Yeah, but for a lot of Chinese families live in apartment buildings. And then that's why we have this system of centralized heating that's called 暖气.
暖气.
Yes, it's I would say, very Chinese element living in China is that I don't see a lot of countries having this kind of a centralized heating system in place in cities even. So it's like they have a place, a factory or a plant somewhere in the city burning up coals in the past, but now I think it's more natural gases for heating, and then they pump those heat in the form of hot water into the individual homes through a network of pipeline, and that's we call 暖气.
And in some buildings, the individual apartment in a complex, in some buildings, the individual apartment can control the heat.
That's more of a modern version of homes now.
But in the older versions,
like in the 1990s, 80s, it's definitely more centralized.
Yeah, so that means all apartments in the building will have the heat on or the heat off, or the air conditioning on or the air conditioning.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
And you can't control the temperature as well. But now for my home, we have this gas heater, which we can decide when to turn on the heat and when to turn off the heat. And also we can control the temperature, which gives us more flexibility than the 暖气 system, the centralized heating system.
Can you even, not that you would, but if you want to, can you turn on the heat in the summertime?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Completely up to you.
Yeah, if I choose to turn up the heat in a 40 degrees Celsius environment, it's up to me.
I live in kind of a hybrid building where we control the temperature of the heat or the temperature of the air conditioning, but the heat comes on at a certain time and off at a certain date, and then the air conditioning comes on a certain date and turned off at a certain date.
So it's it's a hybrid, it's a 混合的 system that you sort of have some part of the control, but not entirely.
It's really only uncomfortable for a few days.
What do you mean?
Well, because they'll have like a date in mind.
So, for example, on January the 15th, we are going to turn on the heat.
Well, that's quite late.
I mean, just hypothetically, just a random
What about
date
December?
popped into my mind.
What about the first 2 weeks of
Yeah,
January?
but normally that starts in November, yeah.
Yeah, so let's say it's, I don't know, November 17th. And the reason they choose that date is precedent from the weather of the past, right?
Yeah.
But if it so happens with climate change that maybe it's freezing cold for the 2 weeks before November 17th, then you might have to deal with that a little bit.
You know, my aunt actually had this problem. I think it was last winter, actually. She lived in an older apartment that have this kind of centralized heating system in place where she didn't have any control on the dates. And I think it was last summer in Mongolia was extremely warmer, had one of the warmer winters. And normally we turn off the heat centralized in the middle of April. But by the end of March, it's getting so warm. She was like, I can't continue to live in that place.
Too hot inside.
It's just too hot. And also when it comes to places like in Mongolia, you have to warm up the whole place to a certain level of temperatures so that you don't feel the freeze outside, don't feel the cold outside. So it can be very hot inside the apartment. And she was like, I need to move to another place because it's just too warm.
Gonna have to deal with this next year.
Yeah,
too.
and I guess it applies to, on some level, European cases that we just talked about the heat waves that they are experiencing in this summer, that their house is built for winters, not for warmer temperatures. But now they're experiencing such high temperatures in their summers, and they sort of struggle to deal with it right now.
How do you say dream house in Chinese?
I don't think we have a direct equivalent Chinese expression. I think dream would be 梦 or 梦想, and house would be 房子.
So
I think
you wouldn't put like a kind of word in front of fángzi to describe like your ultimate best.
Yeah, I would say 理想 would be the more appropriate adjective before 房子.
理
想 is an ideal.
ideal.
But that also resembles the idea of dream house.
Yeah, 理想房子。
理想的
理想的
Yeah, 房子.
理想的房子
Yeah, would be the place that I would consider perfect on some level. I mean, dream house.
So what's your answer?
To the dream house? My version of a perfect house, a 理想的房子, would be, of course, spacious, a big house, 大房子. I also want a lot of natural light, and so that I can grow my own plants in. So I want some version of a sunlight room. I'm not sure how to
Very
explain.
boring answer. This is your 理想的房子. This
Is it boring?
Yeah, you have to choose something like, I want a bowling alley.
Who wants a bowling alley in their home? I mean, that's...
I'd like to have a bowling alley. Super rich people have.
if I'm super rich,
Yeah, this is your ideal like fantasy house.
I would still be living with
You
a
just
lot
want
of
a window
plants.
with a plant.
With a lot of plants. I want a lot of plants. A lot of plants.
Oh, so then how about this? A beautiful arboretum in the backyard. Like so many plants where you could go for a walk.
Yeah.
Maybe a small little, like a small pond where some fish could be.
Yeah, but the pond is a perfect place for mosquitoes.
Okay,
So
we'll
I don't
get
want pond.
We're getting rid of the pond. The pond is gone.
So my
How do you say
version...
pond in Chinese?
池塘.
No
And-
池塘.
No 池塘. 没有池塘. No, it's a perfect place for mosquitoes, and I don't want mosquitoes.
What would I want? I don't want a bowl. You're right. I don't want a bowling alley. I've seen that in the movies.
Had a bowling alley in somebody's home.
I would like to have an indoor swimming pool. And,
Underground?
Yeah. Well, I don't care which side of the ground it's on.
But why indoor?
Well, I just saw it in the movies and it looks like, wow, these people are so cool.
Have indoor swimming pools?
Yeah.
Is that the Canadian side kicking in here.
Why?
Because I'm not sure. I'm just guessing, assuming that, for example, for a place like Beijing, having a swimming pool in your backyard is definitely not a good option.
Yeah.
Because it's windy. You need to clean that pool all the time.
True.
Froze over the winter.
Yeah.
It's a lot of trouble. So I don't see a lot of even the, houses when we're talking about villas in the suburbs of Beijing having swimming pools are very common.
Okay, I changed my idea. Movie theater. Small.
Yeah, I want that too with sofas.
Yeah.
Massage chairs.
IMAX screen. I just said small, didn't I? Yeah. A small IMAX screen.
And I think for Chinese, some people have that in their homes called 影音娱乐室.
影音娱乐室.
娱乐室 entertainment room.
Wow, really? Some people have that? What's in it?
I think you can do all things. Like you can play movies, you can play video games because it's basically just a big screen with very good sound equipment, right? So you can do
mini fridge.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
So it can be the entertainment room, 娱乐室 for a lot of people.
娱乐室.
Yeah, it would be ideal, but just that's our fantasy though. I don't see me purchasing. And also when it comes to the factor of a good house, Steve, do not have to worry about the cleaning side. You have to mopping.
Get a robot.
Well, it can be the answer, but what about the corners? You still have to clean the corners yourself. The robots are still not equipped to clean the corners, even today.
Get a robot vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, they can't clean the corners. And also you have to clean the robots from time to time as well.
Oh, I've never thought of that.
Yeah, because my mom, we have a...
You got a robot?
Cleaner.
No.
Yeah. We still have to clean, like a vacuum cleaner.
Oh.
They have like small pouches.
Oh, yeah. I thought you meant you got an actual humanoid robot. I was like, why are you just telling me this now? Yeah. Although some of those robot vacuum machines now, you can hook them up to your house water, right? And then they're self-cleaning. Those ones are really expensive, though.
Is it? I don't think... And also, you can wire them to your phone. You can control them while you are not home. And they can be...
Why would I need to do that, though?
Then they can be cleaning the house while you are away. And when you are back at the home, it's perfectly clean.
Can't you just program them to do that anyway? You don't need to go into your app. Well, I mean, whatever. Yeah. A self-cleaning home.
Would be so
I want
perfect.
A nice kitchen. Sorry, listeners. We've completely taken over this episode describing the things that we want in our houses.
Yeah. But I think that's represent a lot of people's dream house to have.
Ooh, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
How do you say island? Like kitchen island.
岛台.
岛台.
Island mean 岛, but it's not an actual island. Still some version of a counter. So it's 岛台.
So the tai is the counter?
Counter.
And the dao is the island part.
Yes.
That's what I want. Sorry, this is my last example of things I want.
But I want 岛台 as well.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Gosh.
It would be perfect for breakfast.
Oh, perfect for everything. Entertaining people when they come over.
Yeah.
Hang out. They could sit and you could cook while you're talking with them.
And also, right now, I see a lot of smart version of 岛台 island counters online.
Like what?
They can be equipped with, they sort of have this stone top. And you can have different functions of heating a stove on one side of it.
Yeah.
And the other side is warming up your food.
Yes. Or cooling down your food.
Yeah, so perfect.
Yeah.
And then you can plug in from here and there and you can control the temperatures through your app of an app on your phone, for instance.
It's amazing.
So when it comes to the smarter factor in a lot of people's homes, we're talking about the future direction to have a robots that you can control remotely even, or a 岛台 that some also you can control remotely, or even a humanoid robots in your home would be perfect.
Yeah, I don't think we're quite there yet. My ideal home, my dream house. Oh, just a moment. I wrote down how to say that, didn't I? 1 second. My 理想的房子 does not have a humanoid robot in it.
Really?
No.
What about a system that I can talk to you? Like, hello, Steve, welcome back. How was your day? Do you want me to turn on the air conditioning to 24 degrees Celsius? Do you want that?
I think so.
I have that.
No.
Yeah, I bought a smart speaker. I'm not sure if it's a speaker, but it definitely can control.
It welcomes you home.
Yeah, I can program it to welcome me and turn on the AC, turn off the AC, turn on the TV, turn off TV, controlled by my voice.
Yes,
I love it.
This is very good, I think. What else can it do?
Turn on the stove.
The lights?
As long as it's sort of hooked with a smart system in your house.
Wow. It can turn on the stove.
Yeah, if the stove have that smart socket connected.
Wow.
So it's really cool.
My house is boring now. I was happy with my house until 1 minute ago.
I have a smart home, a 智慧的家.
智慧的家.
Yeah, 智慧 is smart.
智慧的家. 家?
家 meaning home. And smart is 智慧 is what a lot of the smart technology that we just talked about. 智慧.
智慧.
Yes. And also when it comes to the comfort, the 舒适, we all want our living environment to be extremely comfortable for our needs, right? We want 舒适, comfort.
舒适.
When it comes to the natural light that we both want, the big movie theater, a small IMAX screen, is also a part of the comfort that we're looking for to kind of relax, to be able to completely relax down in this environment. And I feel completely safe, right?
舒适.
舒适. Yeah, I think that is the element of a good house for us. But I do want to talk to you, Steve, about some little fun facts when it comes to the Chinese culture and what Chinese people would be considered a defining factor.
I heard that the direction that your home faces makes a big difference for people.
Crucial. It actually changes the prices you pay for your apartment.
So could you explain it?
So in Chinese architecture, we want a house, a building that has its back to the north and faces the south.
So I guess that means the living room?
The living room or the main windows of the apartment is facing south.
Have to face south.
But we also have want is back to the north side, so it's 坐北朝南. Sort of when you're going into that, let's say, traditional Chinese house, you sit down in the living room, you're sort of sitting with your back facing the north, but your face and the window or the door is opening to the south.
Why is that important?
It sort of represents the idea of living in harmony with the nature. And when it translated into modern apartment design, interior design, means the best house would be having windows opening to both sides, both the north and the south.
Oh, okay.
Not only will have the best natural ventilation inside the apartment, but also is considered to be, resembling the harmony with the nature part.
So inevitably, some houses will be facing east to west.
Yeah, and that's not the ideal.
Nobody wants to live there.
Yeah, it's not the ideal. But if you don't have a choice, I mean, when it comes to houses, actually have, in current terms, we call 南北通透.
南北通透.
南 meaning south.
Yep.
北 meaning north. And 通透 meaning the natural ventilation.
Oh, 通透 is natural ventilation.
Yeah, sort of referring to that. And when you have a house that is 南北通透, it's mostly also the most expensive ones on the market. So if you don't have that financial confidence, you have to choose between, an apartment facing the east or the west. It will be cheaper.
Is this also true for company desk location?
I don't think people would be considering that much when it comes to office buildings, because for a lot of modern office buildings, you can't really tell the directions once you step inside it, right?
Yeah, you can.
Do you know
Just look out the window.
which direction you are facing right now?
Darn
I'm
it.
still confused with my directions.
You're right. I have no idea where north is right now.
Yeah, so that is the Chinese version of ideal living standards, to have the abundant natural sunlight from the south.
Will the price difference be huge if it's like an east-west facing versus a north-south facing?
Yeah. Not huge, but would definitely be substantial.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people live in apartment complexes. Do people prefer to live higher up or lower or in the middle? Is there anything?
I think it depends also on the age. I think for the elderly people, they prefer on the lower level of a building.
Oh, well, that's not cultural then. That's just kind of a human thing.
Yeah. But I don't think it's a cultural thing, though. When it comes to people not preferring living on the lower levels of the building, has something to do more with the natural lighting. That when you live in, live in a complex with multiple buildings in your community, the lower level normally doesn't have as much as natural sunlight compared to the middle and the higher levels.
Yeah.
So it's not really culturally, because traditionally, we don't also have a lot of high buildings in China. So the directions matters more than the height of the buildings.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So in traditional Chinese agriculture, north and south, 坐北朝南, sitting north, facing the south, is one of the biggest factors actually deciding whether it's a good house or not, whether it's a 好房子 or not. And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei with Steve Hatherley here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com. You can listen to the show and read the script there. You can also find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and so much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei. Bye-bye.
Bye.